evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Clayton County Board of Education Board Work Session. Today is June 24th, 2024. The time is 6 p.m. We are calling the meeting to order after being in executive session. For executive session, as I was doing my civic duty of jury duty. Starting with District 1, Ms. Jasmine Hall. Present. District 2, Mr. Mark Preston. Present. District 3, Jasmine Gloria, that's me. District 4, Ms. Victoria Woodman. District 5, Dr. G. Hayden. District 6, Ms. Mary Baker. District 7, Mrs. Green Hill. District 8, Mr. George Ellis Cooper. District 9, Mr. Benjamin Stratford. Superintendent, Dr. Anthony Smith. Attorney, Mr. Kim Boyle. Board liaison, Ms. Kim Blackwood. Administrative assistant, superintendent, and board Ms. Alicia. Administrative assistant to the deputy superintendent and chief of staff, Ms. Tom Black. All right. At this time, I should help you to stand and say the pledge of allegiance. The next item on the agenda is the ethics in accordance with PH is the duty of interest and appearances of such conflicts. Does any board member have any known conflict of interest or appearance of such conflict with respect to any matter scheduled to come before the board at this meeting or appearing on our proposed agenda? If so, please identify the conflict or appearance of conflict and refrain from participation in the matter. At this time, we need to adopt the agenda. Mr. President.
So moved, Madam Chair.
All right. We need a second. Ms. Baker. All right, it's been moved properly second that we adopt the agenda. Please vote. Sealed. And it is the unanimous vote. Thank you. All right, at this time, we will have recommendations for the executive session.
Madam Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, members of the board, staff members and community, I would like the board to consider for the position of principal at East Clayton Elementary School, Dr. Carrie Watson.
Board members, I need a motion for the superintendent's recommendation of Watson to be the principal of East Clayton Elementary School.
I move that we accept the superintendent's recommendation for Dr. Carrie Watson as the principal of East Clayton Elementary.
I need a second. Mr. Stricker.
I second the motion.
Has been moved and properly second that we accept the superintendent's recommendation. Please vote. All right, and the vote is 8 in favor and 1 abstention. Mr.
Thank you so very much, board. And be recognized. To consider the position of principal at Mount Sinai Elementary, Dr. Tanisha Whitlow.
Board members, I need a motion for the superintendent's recommendation. Mount Zion Elementary School, Dr. Tanisha Sullivan. Ms. Vick. All right, and I need a second, Mrs. Stricker. All right, it's been moved and properly second that we accept the superintendent's recommendation. Dr. Tanisha Sullivan, Mount Zion Elementary School. Please, vote. All right, it's 9 in favor. Dr. Smith.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Whitlow. If you're present, please stand and be recognized. Thank you, board. I would like for the board to consider the position of principal at Unido School, Language School, Ms. Emma Grant.
Board members, I need a motion for the superintendent's recommendation for the principal of Unido Language Elementary School, Ms. Emma Randy. Ms. Bowles.
So moved, Ms. Brandy and Unidos.
I need a second, Ms. Hill. It's been moved and properly second that we vote for the recommendation of the superintendent, Ms. Randy. Dr. Hammond. All right, we have, the vote is 8 members in favor, 1 abstention.
Thank you so very much, board members. Ms. Brandy, if you're present, please stand and be recognized and congratulated. Thank you, board members. I would like the board to consider the position of assistant principal at Tomorrow High School, Dr. Sean Antoinette.
Board members, I need a motion for the superintendent's recommendation of Dr. Sean Antoinette as the assistant principal at Marl High School.
Recommendation for Dr. Sean Antonetti as the assistant principal of Marl High.
All right, I need a second, Mrs. Stricker. All right, it's been properly moved and second for the superintendent's recommendation. Please vote. Mr. Stricker. And it is a unanimous vote.
Thank you, board members. Dr. Antonetti is out. Thank you, board members. I would like to I would also like the board to consider the position of assistant principal at Lundy's Mill High School, Patricia Kane.
Board members, I need a motion for the superintendent's recommendation of Ms. Patricia Kane McCrary as the assistant principal at Lundy's Mill High School. Ms. Bowles.
So moved for Ms. Kane McCrary at Mundy's Mill High.
Mr. Christmas, second. Properly second to accept the superintendent's recommendation, Ms. Patricia Kane McCrary as the assistant principal at Ms. Smith High School. Ms. Williams. All right, is the unanimous vote? Congratulations, Ms. McCrary.
I would like the board to consider for the position of coordinator for career technical and agricultural education, Ms. Carrie Dean.
Members, I need a motion for the superintendent's recommendation of Ms. Carrie Dean as coordinator. CTAE, Dr. Haney.
Madam Chair, I do make a motion that we approve Ms. Carrie Dean for coordinator of CTE.
It's been moved, Ms. Second. Ms. Hill.
I second, madam.
All right. Please vote. Ms. Hill. The vote is 8 in favor, 1 abstention. I'm abstaining because I wasn't.
Board members, Ms. Lee, if you're present, please stand and be recognized and congratulated. Also, board members, and thank you for that. Coordinator for Career Technical and Agricultural Education, Sheila Garner.
Board members, I need a motion for the superintendent's recommendation of Ms. Shirley Garner as coordinator of CTAE. Ms. Williams,
I move that we accept the superintendent's recommendation from Ms. Sheila Garner, the coordinator of PTA.
I need a second. Thank you.
Madam Chair, I can second the motion.
All right, please vote. All right, and the vote is 8 in favor, 1 abstention, I'm abstaining. As I said, I was not there.
Ms. Garner, if you're present, please stand and be recognized and congratulated. Also, board members, I would like the board to consider the position of coordinator for social studies, Rhonda Love.
Board members, I need a motion for the superintendent's recommendation of Ms. Rhonda Love as coordinator of social studies. Even though I wasn't present for discussion, I have been waiting for this for over a year, so therefore I want to make the motion that we accept Ms. Rhonda Love as the coordinator of social studies. I need a second, Ms. Hill. All right, it's been moved and properly second. The executive superintendent's recommendation of Ms. Rhonda Love as coordinator of social. It is a unanimous vote.
Ms. Love, if you're present, please stand and be recognized. Consider for a transfer from East Lake Elementary as principal to the principal at Forest Park Middle School, Dr.
Board members, I need a motion for the superintendent's recommendation of the transfer of from the principal of East Lake to the principal of Forest Park Middle School.
I move that we accept the recommendation for the comments to the principal and Forest Park.
I need a second, Ms. Williams. It's been moved and properly second. Please vote. It is a unanimous vote.
Also, to consider this last appointment, as acting principal at East Street Elementary, Mr. Wendell Spain.
All right, board members, I need a motion for the superintendent's recommendation of Mr. Wendell Span as the acting principal at Lee Street Elementary School. And I'm gonna have to override somebody else as well. I'm gonna make that motion. And I need a second. You'll make this, Mrs. Shirley?
I'd like to second.
Right, it's been moved and properly second that we, that Mr. Wendell Span be the acting principal at Lee Street Elementary School. Mr. President, is that a yes? You make a motion. It's a yes, okay. Is it unanimous vote? Unanimous.
My recommendations for this evening. Thank you, board members.
All right, the next thing on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. Oh, yes, yeah, got it. Thank you, Ms. Bowles. We do have another matter in executive session, I'm sorry, I haven't remember, I'm sure we do. Let me go there. Things came on here. We'll also take a picture. I'm gonna look at this for those.
Okay, we would like to make, I need, the joint power request.
Excuse me, before you, do anything, there is some technical difficulties on the live stream, anyone being able to hear us, which are now close to the microphone. Go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion for the joint power request for easement. As discussed in the executive session. Is there a second?
Dr. Payne, oh. Okay. The vote is 8 in favor and 1 abstention. Go ahead, Mrs. Stern.
And I'd like to make a motion that we approve, discuss contract in executive session.
All right, is that your motion?
Yes.
I'm gonna second it. It's been moved and properly. Go ahead.
It's been moved and properly. We have.
Dr. Hayes.
It's unanimous.
No, it's a unanimous. Unanimous vote.
Okay.
Okay, that's unanimous. Mr. President.
Madam Chair, just for the public period, so we can get clear that we have the superintendent's contract discussed in executive session. So that we will go on the superintendent contract.
You want to say more?
No, that's it. I just want to make sure that the public aware, we just said only on the contract as discussed in executive session. That's just one. I just wanted the public to know that we were voting on this superintendent. That was clarification purposes.
Let's go over that motion again. Right? Are you ready? I'd like to make a motion that we approve the superintendent's extended contract in executive session.
Okay, that was what the motion is. We just wanted the public to know that the superintendent's contract is being extended. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, so I believe we have covered all of the executive session, is that correct? All right, now we're on the approval. All right, we need to take a picture.
All people who are appointed, please come up for a photo.
I need for the people who were appointed to stand for. I'd like the board to fill in. And I forget the people who were appointed to do like stuff, this was. I'm that's good, right there. And I'd like the board members to fill in the gaps. So to make sure that I see people. And the board members can step up. So we can see that. Okay. Let's see. So I can see the polls. Very good. And then Joanne. Okay, that's good. Polls. And then he said, Mr. Strader, and okay. I can't get out of it. All right, great. And everyone can see me, right? Okay. All right. On three, please. Okay, 1, 2, hold on. Good. All right, next time. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Please hold. And three.
Some information, pertaining to. So we were during a discussion, a couple weeks ago, we were talking about forced offerings and looking at equity for these forced offerings. And so I want to share with you some of the information that I shared with her. Share with the community some of the things that we're doing in Clayton County Public Schools to not only look at equality, but also equity and justice. But before I start, I want to say that you received an email from the community. Our strategic waiver application was approved. Yay. So a set of waivers will be able to enact. We are waiting for the State Board of Education to submit the contract to Clayton County Public Schools and for the board and the superintendent to sign off on that. In addition, we have our summer school program. We have summer school. We are running at about, in some of the programs, 60% on down to 55% of our students enrolled participating. And then lastly, we have not heard from the Georgia Department of Education on when they're going to officially release the Georgia milestone date. As soon as we get that email, we'll definitely share that with you. So just please be patient with us as we get some of this information from the Georgia Department of Education. So let's talk a little bit about equality, equity, justice. So when you look at the first picture that's on your left, as you see, the individuals are trying to watch a sport event. Equality is giving everybody the same thing. But that doesn't necessarily mean they all have access to it. So if you look at the height of the individuals, you see that one child who can't see over the fence. But yet, if you look at the boxes, the height of the boxes are the same for everybody. That's equality. We treat everyone the exact same, regardless of their background, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the situations, economics, marital status, how income, etc. That's not good. The equality is the baseline. For example, when you think of a school, the equality is to make sure that there are teachers, make sure there are principals, you make sure there are resources, so that all of those are relevant to our students. But then we have these differences, and then we have to do something a little bit different. And that is where we start thinking about equity. We are now looking at what do those individuals need in order to be able to have access to what they're trying to receive. And so if you look at the second picture, notice that first individual, his box is removed. But the second box is still there. In the third picture, we get another box. And that's just like saying, for our students with disabilities, we can give all of them the same accommodation they need. And it's the same thing for our schools. When you think about courses, course offerings, we give you the basics. But the community may say, I would like to have health sciences. Another community may say, I would like to have world languages. Or maybe business. Or maintenance, like maintenance. Or operations. But we do these things based on the needs and based on the responses that we get from our community. And I mean our community as our community and parents, but also our community in our schools. So that we want to help everyone receive what they need to be successful. And then the last picture, we don't talk about all, is justice. And justice is that opportunity to remove the barriers. We remove barriers all the time. We participate in the CEP program so that every student can have access to meals at no cost. We remove barriers by offering free tutorial to all students, regardless whether they're honor students or students who struggle. This is the work that we are responsible for doing. But sometimes we face challenges. We have policies in place that with equity and justice. But sometimes we have people who want to go against those policies through favors, through pressure, through influence. And when those things happen, we lose equity, equality, and justice. And so when we think about the course offerings to this conversation, for example, you have advanced history courses. We have different courses in different schools. That is true. But those courses are based on community and what they have expressed need. They're based on what teachers you have available. But yet, still a student wants to have that course, and we still say yes. But it may not be a traditional face-to-face course. It might be an online course. It might be a course that we transport a student to another school, which we've done with our teaching program. We still open that door. We still give that student that box to stand on, to have access. And that's what we do. It's not very easy. We have our pledging JRR teaching program. We know that we do. We do because we can't find staff. We have other programs that are not being successful. It's because we can't find staff. But we still try to work it out. We may combine programs at schools. We may offer virtual courses. We try to implement as many creative initiatives to help our students access to our courses. And to say that, if you look at your sheet, there are 2 pages, one that looks like this, and another one that has CTA on it. It's just a sample, a brief sample of one of the programs we have in our schools. It's not all of them. It's just the key ones. And you can see that nearly every one of our schools has something unique or special that is going on here. And many of our elementary schools are undergoing STEM certification. And as we go through the next couple of years, I believe all of our schools, STEM elementary schools, will soon have STEM.
And why don't we see those slides?
I don't have it on the slide, it's too small on the slide, so I don't have that as a slide. Thanks.
Okay, when we come back, we need to see these slides.
Okay.
This is big flag.
We'll put that in. Okay. So we're talking about the student interest, staff qualifications, and the school program. We will have these throughout the school year, which help us decide where we're going to go. Now, in terms of the slide presentation of the handout, if the staff community has access to this presentation,
They do, but
they can click right here, it says current state.
no, the slide, this should have been an e-board so that the community can see them. That's what the community can see.
Is it
Is
a
what
board?
the e-board.
It's a board.
No, it's not. That's what I'm asking. They see that one.
All they need to do is click on the current state, yes. Anymore.
It's an e-board.
It just, if you go to the slide right here, you click on current state. That's exactly.
It's
Okay, I'll tell you.
It's not.
Yeah. That's true. I'll resend it to her to make sure you get it.
I'm looking at e-board.
But if you take your keyboard, once it's corrected, click on current state, there's where it is. Because this is too small to make a slide. And so staff will have, the community will have all of this information that talks about the different programs that we have here in Clayton County. Like this is just a partial list. Please understand it. We also have in the current state, once it is accessible, you will also see where we have our CTAE programs as well, which you have hard copies too. So what we're doing to ensure that we have our equity and justice, we offer a lot of programs to our community through getting their surveys. We want to implement a magnet program. We ask for opinions. We ask what we want to do. We then set up to design programs with the community to do that. We use grants. We use a lot of grants to implement different programs that are needed for our students. We also have courses ranging from remedial all the way to gifted. And we're in the process right now of expanding our AP course access in the district. However, it still hinges on making sure we find qualified teachers to teach the courses. Because college board, you cannot implement any course without meeting the criteria. Same thing for Cambridge. You have to have certified teachers. We also continue our opportunities to learn beyond the classroom, updating our instructional resources, and a host of other activities that we're currently doing to make sure our kids have access, equity, equality, and justice. And so here, in sum of all the things that we do, if we don't have it in our curriculum face-to-face, we try to do it online and virtual learning. We don't have it for online and virtual learning, we're trying to do enrollment programs. We also try to provide our students with opportunities to be transported from one school to another school. If the program is there at that school and the student needs to finish up their program and they don't have it at their school, we provide transportation. We also train our staff. We encourage our staff to get additional certification so that we can offer different courses. We also have mentorship, internship, student work, experiences. And lastly, we use data all the time to assess our needs and determine what is best for our children. Are there any questions?
Yes, I have a question. First, before I get started, I mentioned I've been at the justice. Share a compliment that one of the people in my gave us great props for the women that we have one on at the Paris Center. They talked about, they were asking about, I'm so glad to see that, you know, when we were in high school, whatever, told them that, you know, in those days, we called it vocational ed, we called it CTAE. And she made a good point. She said, well, you know, you all like to use all those acronyms, and we don't know what it stands for, so we use that. But I want to let the audience know why we had this conversation because they emailed me and wanted to take 3 AP classes for summer school. We said that we were having a celebration. She said the reason she wanted, she had this young lady that 4.25 GPA. So she wants to maintain her GPA. So she asked for the AP class. They were Clayton High School. And I can't take these classes at North Clayton because we don't have a teacher. And that's the reason that I asked this and why the public needs to see this. Because there's not equity in our schools. And particularly, I'm upset that in my district. If I look at this sheet here, I see that Lovejoy High School has 15 offerings. I see that Marble High School has 13. And I see that the schools on the north side of the county, for example, Drew is in my district, 10 offerings. North Clayton only has 6 offerings. Riverdale High School has 10, and the Paris Center only has 6. I have a problem with that for those children that attend those schools. Because regardless of whether or not we can hire the staff to work in North Clayton, I get the Paris Center, I get Riverdale, and I can even, like in Drew, we knew that when we walked out of here on March 14, 2020, that we shut the district down for the pandemic, that we did instruction online. And if there's a kid that's at North Clayton High School that wants to take a calculus class, but she doesn't have a teacher at North Clayton, and they have to play course at Marble High School, the person that's teaching it at Marble High School can still teach their child sitting at North Clayton, because there's something called hybrid learning. And that is what we need to start doing. We can't continue to have one side of the town have classes and the other side of the town where we have the same, we have taxpayers paying.
And those kids can't get it. And that bothers me.
Ended up, you know, she found her class. She wanted to take 3 classes. We did get 1 class. And to me, that says a lot for a student to even want to do something like that in the summertime. Because my response to her was, well, I wish I could set your brain out. So I can remember why I walked in the kitchen. And I get in the kitchen and I can't remember what I did before. But we have got to do better. We've got to offer these children things that I was CPA coordinators this evening. So I hope that we're going to get some equity in Clayton County. So I'm asking that these slides that we have here are into e-boards. So if wants to go back and look at this, they have opportunity to look at it. And the same thing for our elementary schools. Because certain elementary schools have all, and I keep saying this over and over again, we have people that want to get into K-PACE. And we can only let so many people get into K-PACE. But we have a school in my district, West Clayton, that has a very low population. We can put the same program on the north side of town that we have in Jonesboro. Let's have more than one place to have elementary students. That's what we need to look at. We need some equity.
So let me respond to that, please. So equity and equality. Equality would be having everything at the same school, all schools. So equity is addressing the needs of that individual school. So I may have 5 programs at school A and 10 programs at school B,
Is that inequity? Not necessarily.
See,
What do the schools need?
well, that's great. Nobody has, so when the school, they ask, but they're not getting it, so. I'm just saying, and I think, we had to talk about the solution. I think we have staff that can come up with solutions for us, but we have.
Madam Chair, we try to make sure that we get across all schools will leverage technology and do whatever we need to do to continue to make inroads, making sure no one, really provide equity across all schools.
Thank you, Dr. Mrs. All right, that's all I'm asking, is that we have the means to do it, and that's what we're asking. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and Dr. Young, I just want to say thank you for your presentation and I got an email from one of the family members who has a niece who attended the summer program, and she said, thank you. It's been very instrumental, and her niece has thoroughly enjoyed it, and it has helped her to prepare for ninth grade. So I want to say thank you for always being available and willing to help our scholars. And again, that was something that just came about and made it happen, so I want to say thank you for that. My question for the presentation tonight, is this something that is already happening? Is this what we're looking forward to for the next semester? And,
It's already happening. Young lady talking about daily courses and anytime we have a course, especially high school, we try to look at our technologies. It don't happen first. We start with technology. Some courses like AP is simply not offering. State Department is because that course has tests that we want to take. And that test is only administered once a year, May. After having talked with young lady for quite some time, she decided that one course would be enough because trying to retain 3 courses worth of information, trying to look up the AP exam was quite a challenge. So we do use content, we do use transportation of students sites. So we use a variety of options here. Even people the kids say, hey, they'll teach AP classes to AP students who will volunteer you already.
next question will be, I know that we're going to use survey in order to obtain the information to meet the needs of Black scholars in our community. But is that something that's already taking place?
Yes.
Okay.
So for anything, but we know that there's an elementary school that wants to common magnet school that's just one very specific school. And that individual will be surveying her community to see, what interests are there, what type of magnet program. That's number one. Number two, like for them, a wider survey, DA programs that do anyways because of the changes that are coming from the State Department. So, this team will be creating that survey to sit out across the district to look at our CTA program. We may find that we want all the new ones and close all. Once we get the data, that's when our data driven.
Thank you so much.
And I want to add to that, I want to also say that we can take surveys for our, if you want to say the constituents, but you can also survey within the organization, which the people that we work with, and you can look and see the disparities in the programs across the school district. So because everybody should have the opportunity to have programs. Respect.
Get clarification, I guess. We were having certain programs, say Cambridge, I know back in our school, we trained a lot of people to be IT teachers, and they got the training and they turned around and left. and we pay. So I just need to know that if we give this treatment to these people, that we have a certain amount of time that they are going to pay, or they're gonna pay it back. Because I don't want to educate somebody just to let go of the district.
So we do that in summer programs. And, like the partnerships with the college and university. If it is the board's desire to do that for other programs, like the Cambridge, we want to get some language in place so that that can come on.
Are there any other questions or comments? Thank you.
This time, I would like for the major to come up, I believe, Chief Walker.
Good evening, Chairwoman Dr. Fareed, Vice Chair Mr. Straker, Superintendent Dr. Smith, members of the board, attendees, and people viewing. Thank you for allowing me to come up and speak on safety and security. And I am Major Air Force oversee the field operations division. The data I have here is about safety and security weapons that we found on the school property for 23 to 24. So real guns that we located on property for 6. Toy guns, fake guns, and regular guns. 7. Knives, 20. Tasers, they located 2. And other, and those other pepper spray and wrestling. And all in all, it's 38 compared to last year, previous year. For 59, this year, only 38 weapons found on the property. And here, we want to comparison from 2022 to 23 school year. Each month. And just about every month we have an increase. There was 1 month we had an increase, and there was 1 month that stayed the same. So August of 22, we had 5. This school year, we had 3. So the decrease of 40%. September, we had also this decrease. September 2022, we had 5. September 2023, we had 2. Decrease of 60%. For the month of October, there was a noticeable increase in weapons located on school property. October 2022, 1, and 23, we had 8. So that increase was well over 100%. For November 2022, we had 6, and 2023, we had 4, a decrease of 33%. For the month of December of 2022, we had 2, and then this past December, we had 1, decrease of 50%. January 2023, we had 8, but January 2024, we only found 1, which is a decrease of 88%. For February 2023, it was 12. February 2024, 4, which was a decrease of 7. For the month of March, there was no change. So in 2023, we found 6. March 2024, we found 6. For April 2023, we found 6. But April of 2024, we found 4, which was an increase of 33%. And in the month of May 2023, we found 8. But this year, 2024, found 5, which is a decrease of 38%. So as far as the weapons, did anyone have any questions?
Are there any questions, board members? Dr. Haynes?
Each month, Chief Walker sends out a monthly report, which does also include.
But it's really, though, your question is like, if something happens at the school that day, and whether it's found. Is that information? I think that's more what she meant.
I know, Major Mitchell, the report that you compile each day, who's that report?
Whenever whenever serious infraction like what he is describing, we'll make certain that it's shared with the board, although it is put in a report when it happens and also in the report. But yes, we agree.
Yes, we do notifications to us immediately. As soon as we get enough information, Chief Walker does transmit that information to, superintendent and, assistant superintendent, so on and so forth. Major Mitchell is responsible for daily compiling the reports and any incident that we have daily.
I'm gonna make a comment because people can perceive this the wrong way, where you said the numbers went up. If that went up, it means our equipment is working very well. Did I say everything?
Well, I will say, when you do the call, the security checks that we did in the spring, along with looking for with students, it has increased.
Yeah, you have to stop me on, I think it was the Friday. Bad, about time. Yeah, they stopped me when I was about to do my prayers. I told them they didn't have anything. I'm mad at whose name I'm on, I wasn't there, so I was just trying to see the name. No. Thank you.
Major.
All right, the next, what is you, okay.
Yes. Please come up.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, board members, Jimmy Johnson, colleagues in the media this evening. For the monthly financial. The purpose of board, our financial reports are intended to assist the board with fiduciary oversight and accountability regarding financial condition of the school district. These financial statements report the financial status of the school district. For the, okay, that's not the right report. It's the March 31. May 3/31. Yeah, it's in 3/31. Yeah, what happened here? Then 5/31, I'm gonna read what happened. Here's what you all have in, we can get some update on people, I'm not sure. Why not? But as of 5/31, 2024, the total revenue collected is $564,088,8% of the $634.9 million that we have budgeted. We collect 88% of all local taxes, 421% of the revenue. At 327 million, state revenue, 84.6%, and our federal revenue, 64.9% of $447,000. Total expenditures for the year, May 31st, $6,371,414. That's 79.8% of our total budget of $634.9 million. So year-to-date, we collected $58 million of revenue on our expenditures. So our income fund balance at May is $231. We do have, joint expenses left to, talk about, these are on as well as the summer pay for those employees. In June, July, and August. So that is coming out. So the recommendation is approval of the financial report. Any questions?
Are there any questions, board members? All right.
Next, we have spouse report. March as well. So I will put on the sheet here. So the slide is supposed to show the last 3 months, March, April, and May. For the month of March of this year, we collected $5.7 million. In April, it was $5.6 million, and for May, it's $5.552, and last year, at the same time, we collected $5.173. So it is an increase, stock collections will continue to increase. Program to date collection is $263.6 million. Inception of this current spots program, it's we're averaging about $5 million a month. We do have 8 months remaining in this program for this year, so we're estimating to collect an additional $45 million if we continue collecting an average $5 million a month. So the recommendation is to approve these financial reports. Are
there any questions, board members? I don't see any.
And the last item is purchasing appropriation purchasing for the supplemental. And of course, our coffee and purchase of any non-consumer items with a value of $50,000 or more, and the purchase of non-consumer items from a single vendor on individual or sequential purchase orders with a total value of $50,000 or more shall be approved by the Board of Education function purchase and or private execution in the meeting to purchase. This policy also provides that at the regular monthly Board of Education meeting, the superintendent of designated provides a report of all purchases greater than $10,000, which were approved in the prior month and not previously approved by the board. So in response to the policy, we have 3 reports to provide to you. The first is report A, which is consumable purchases made in the value of $10,000 or more. We also have a non-consumable purchases made in the value of $10,000 or more, but less than $50,000. And the report C shows non-consumable items in the value of $50,000 or more than the farm board determined. I'll be happy to entertain any questions you have on the regular purchase report as well as the supplemental report.
Ms. Hill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do have, on report A, A1. And I just want to make sure that those numbers are next meeting and diesel fuel for the amount of.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Hall.
Yes, ma'am, that number is. And the fuel number is for. What corporate meeting is, we have a host agency that does all the bidding, solicitation, and we do all the bidding and the prices that they what we do, we have access to utilize the corporate agreement. And that's the only thing we do. Can't change it again. We can just use the services because we are not those things.
And my second question would be that we've already, knew this all amount when we did our budget, so we're prepared and understand. Thank you.
Ms. Cooper.
Just for clarification, I didn't answer
my question, but on report B, those items, that $3.5 billion, can you explain why it's sitting on report A instead of B?
See, so, I spoke with the purchasing team, and it's my understanding that consumable items are items, can't be used, fuel, food, workbooks, and actually get back on some fifty books last year, the workbooks on here as well. But we still have to report to the board, and sometimes because of the amount, they still appear on this, under the local 10. So this is the $8.5 million a year. We still have to put it in.
Are there any questions? Okay.
The recommendations.
Okay.
Thank you.
Joseph.
Meeting once again, Madam Chair, members of the board, Smith. We received SPOS update in June. There were 8 payments totaling $9.9 million. There were no changes to execute the spirit. Additionally, we received the capital purchase for $3,000. Meeting the commission presented this to be approved. Next, we received bid result. The recommendation to the superintendent is to support the project speech construction at a cost of $13,887,000, and that's 50% all of the business enterprise. Next month, we will see the work the North Lake High School project as well as the Riverdale Road. Are there any questions on that?
Yes, I actually do. I'm looking to make it first.
All of Mount Zion High School, we just got started, so we will try to stay ahead of the season. So we'll try to get softball ready for season and then move on to tracks.
I'm gonna go back to the bid. I'm still, I think I sent you some questions. I'm still quite confused about the bidding process now. Of course, you know, Church Street is right around the corner from my house. And this looks really nice. I'm trying to understand how certain projects continue to get on the facility plan and where we have these bids, but we still haven't done anything with, I think you just say North Clayton. And North Clayton, nor the early learning center. Things that were supposed to have already been done. Continue to keep coming. Of course, I love this for my area, but I just see some other places that need to be looked at. It's right anywhere on the list.
It is.
Okay, what about Riverdale? Because those are two, and if we just went and looked at some of the students by age, things keep popping up on some of these lists. And I know that when we have voters to vote for certain things, they haven't, you know, they haven't happened. And looking at funding and all those things, I think we should be just trying to slow down a little bit. I'm glad that we have Lovejoy. We're about to do groundbreaking for it. But we should go back and do some things in the report. The lady mentioned to me today about acronyms, because I was reading a lot of the report. I realized I didn't know a lot of the acronyms for instructions, trying to keep it simple. Still waiting to see those blueprints for North Clayton. I was looking at me like, did you send them? Did you send them to me, what, maybe today? Okay. I look for them, I look weekend, I can see them. If you could send them, because I couldn't do anything today, couldn't get any internet service, couldn't look at anything. If you could sit there and let us have some information about the applicants. And the other thing that I'm looking at, I'm not calling names, but it's something that we need to do, that we're going to discuss down here with these policies, with our bid process. Because I think our bid process is quite unfair to certain groups. And bid process, is this the only company that bid?
Yes, ma'am. That's all the commission.
All right, that's, seems like we should have some competition. But we really do need some competition. That's pretty much my comment.
Good evening, Madam Chair, the Vice Chair, other members of the board. The personal changes report summarizes all personnel actions for the period of May 10th through June 5th, 2024. All human resources updates were submitted to the Board of Education for your review. I will highlight that at the time of our board packet submission, there were 501 teacher vacancies. As of Friday, there are now 393. Also, upcoming recruitment efforts were highlighted in response to a board inquiry that is received earlier. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
Are there questions? I saw questions across the email today.
So the 393 represents vacancy. So there's a reduction, so the difference. Yeah. Yeah. Correct. So the 393 represents vacancies that do not have pending recommendations. That's right.
I'm still recruiting.
Okay, all right. Question for you, but anyway, I know you sent me the information just for the public to kind of tell them and highlight kind of what I have. A lot of teacher vacancies. Can you give us an update on how many teachers now we have? It was 325 of the amount that should gave us that entire amount of 93. How many of those were the teachers? Were they in those core areas that we were looking for? And also our special ed program, just kind of highlights and then.
Sure. So as of Friday, June 21st, there were 393 teacher vacancies remaining. As a part of that 393, we have the greatest need in elementary education and special education. As of Friday, there are 113 elementary education vacancies and 79 in our special education area. The teams are working vigorously to process any recommendations for hire that we receive, and our school leaders have done a tremendous job continuing with recruitment and made a request for hire. The district did host a job fair on June 8th. As a result of that job fair, we were able to engage with 346 job seekers, and school leaders were able to issue 121 recommendations, candidate recommendations. We're monitoring those 121 to determine how to bring them mature into request for hire and actual hiring approvals. And that will be in excess to the numbers that we were able to share today. We are partnering very heavily with Teaching and Learning Strategic Improvement. They have access to the tracker that we developed as a result of that job fair. So they're partnering with us, ensuring that school leaders recommend for hire any viable candidate who will be engaged. There are also additional recruitment efforts underway. I'll just highlight a few. On Wednesday, the recruitment team
along with some predetermined school leaders, will be traveling to Birmingham to conduct a market recruitment event. And there will be a relocation incentive offered to those that clear the hiring process. In addition, on July 10th, we will be hosting a retiree information session. During that session, we will ensure that retirees are apprised of all the viable options for employment that we have here in the district. And we will have representatives from TRS on hand to support any questions that they have about the benefits. As you are aware, we do have a contract with teacher and teacher recruitment services request for proposal out. There were 6 proponents that provided responses to the RFP. So the committee will meet tomorrow. They're in the process of reviewing all of those proposals. The timeline suggests that we should be able to bring recommended proponents to the August 5th board meeting. We're also reviewing our current vacancy data to submit plans for additional target recruitment events. And those target recruitment events will provide additional support for our schools that have the greatest needs in terms of vacancies, along with our content specialty areas that have shown extreme need. And then lastly, the extended substitutes initiative will be revised for the upcoming school year. And the ESUBs will be used to support vacancies that still exist at the beginning of the school year. So although HR is sponsoring the division for this effort, we've been in solid collaboration with other district departments to ensure that this effort is well coordinated collaboration.
So thank you so much, Ms. Albright, for that information. Next time, you can tell us, we know that you're doing a lot, so go ahead, I do appreciate the effort. One thing that I would ask, any other job fairs that we show, one that we're launching the 8th maybe before school starts?
Yes, so what we're doing right now is only through the remaining vacancy data. So you will provide areas where the vacancies still exist. So although we may do a holistic job fair, we also want to provide some targeted assistance to special groups. So whether that's our schools that have more vacancies in the target group, or one that is specifically designed to attract talent from our elementary schools or for special education, because we're seeing still extreme need in those areas.
Thank you.
Ms. Hill.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Ms. Albright, for explanation of where we are. My question is, when we have the resignation, are we still continuing to gather information that will help us to better understand why people are resigning? And in addition to that, what are we doing again to retain those?
So for the first portion of the question, we are seeing an increase in responses to the exit survey. And then for those who indicate on the survey that they're willing to participate in the exit interview, those are being attended. We are constantly, not constantly, but relatively frequently meeting with teaching learners, strategic improvement, just to iron out what that data exchange is going to be. We've had a few meetings with them, and we feel confident that going into school year 24-25, we have an exchange of information process that will benefit us in understanding why the teachers are. Thank you. And then for the second part related to retention, I'll just highlight a couple of things. And I'll broach the subject, but TLSI may want to expand. So one of the things that we want to begin highlighting when we talk about improvement, but it will also benefit retention, is the fact that TLSI is prepared to share with our elementary teachers of the core content areas, and then at the secondary level, they're being prepared for GMAS, middle high school GMAS tests. Although we are leveraging that from a recruitment standpoint, my division is also a retention. It facilitates retention as well.
Okay, for clarification, am I hearing you right, that we are taking some things off the plate of the teachers?
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We're the district that providing lesson plan for our teachers in various subject areas. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. I understand that is very time.
We're also partnering with TLSI to embed a portion of retention plan into a portion of the short-term action plan. So that template is being finalized, and schools will be asked to just develop action steps in response to some of those areas that we know impact retention, such as like the onboarding, employee recognition, and increasing staff voice. Those are some of the trends that we're seeing in the exit survey and interview process. So we're partnering with TLSI to get that incorporated into the short-term action.
Thank you.
Ms. Williams.
Question about the application process. So I'm being clear, applying to the high school, that pool for that, I have to pick exactly what school I want to get. Pick what school I want to go to.
So it's not a pool. So last year we attempted to leverage pools for a couple of reasons. But we heard the sentiments of several groups. So this year we're back to individualized posting. So if you're interested in becoming a science teacher, you will respond to the submitted vacancy that's listed on top here. The vacancy will show the exact location for that particular position.
So if I want to choose any location, I have to look on every single location.
So you only develop one application, you're able to quickly align it with whatever position that interests you.
Okay, and then the principal don't pick me, my application is just gone.
So if you are not selected to request a hire, then you do receive an automated notification of that fact. But each school to which you apply will have the opportunity to submit your application and determine if they will offer you an interview. I will share with the board that late May, early June, we combed through all of the applicants to elementary positions and secondary positions. And those that were certified, we provided to the schools, we contacted each of those applicants individually and invited them to an elementary hiring event, and then we have the second hiring event for secondaries.
So actually, the ones we get hired, they offer. And I know you applied for this need that offer. So now I'm sitting there right now, and or something might come up, and then another one.
So that, the specific elementary event that I just mentioned, and the one that we hosted for secondary, we, HR went to each applicant, regardless of the location to which they applied. If they were certified, with any viable, you call them on the phone, invite them to a current event, and then the event, and then we have a separate event.
What can you do to expedite this? And because I'm thinking there are several things that you could, like, for example, we have been, everybody's heading, the board is asking why we have so many resignations and vacancies. The school district up the street is paying more money and they're hiring. What can we do as far as when we have these job fairs, that they don't have to go right long application? Can we, is there something, can we have fingerprinting? Can we, do we hire?
So they are able to make requests for hire, because the issue of the contract is other steps as the background check, the results of the background check. And the elementary and secondary units that we hosted in late May, June, we did partner with safety and security to provide documentation, and they were able to report there immediately following that request for hire. At the top here, we have a technology center. The technology division has partnered with us. So job seekers just hear about the event and they come and they have to apply, they're able to apply on site, revisit the floor where the hiring managers are, and then the hiring manager is then able to have a informed conversation with them based on the information that they know. So those are some of the things that we do.
Okay, so is that a yes, that we can hire?
So we can make requests, but they will not go contract on the spot. Contract, we have to have results of the background check.
Oh, that's what I'm saying, so we have safety and security there. How long does it take?
So with the background checks, the machine that we have to use to the fingerprint can't be moved easily to be able to facilitate it. Have to come to our department.
So can we buy another fingerprinting machine? Looks like, what we need to do is we need to do a review of our practices and try to get whatever we need to get in place. But I want to point this out, that APS as well, you know, everybody's APS. People reach out to me because APS did a whole big old box thing as well. So now, I'm trying, you know, trying to come this way. And for those people that are running to APS, I don't think they know that APS is also a charter school district. And that they can fire you in 90 days. It doesn't matter whether you're tenured or not, if they want to let you go, they can let you go. Like, job fairs now. Remember last meeting, I asked you about somebody that's helping us get teachers, but you told me you couldn't process. So is there a bidding process, or have you done anything about
It is estimating maybe tomorrow, they are reviewing the response to the 6 components that provide feedback.
See, if we could stay that process up, I never heard in November. Maybe we would have, maybe, you know, that. Yeah, I'm gonna make a recommendation, and I think that we also need to do this, it's really not on you, it's like, this is on us. Because we, you know, went through this long budget cycle. And, you know, yesterday I had some teachers, one of them is, you know, my favorite niece. They're not looking, and the other day, they would just give me, asking me these questions. What they wanted to say, that they really wanted money to go to their written houses so that they could, when they return. But one of the things that I know that we need to do is we need to hire a farmer to do a compensation study. Because it should be a big gap between, and I'm mentioning business, we shouldn't have that big gap between the district up the road, you know, 30, 40 gap. So we really need to look at that. We haven't had anybody to do a compensation study for Clayton County Public Schools since I started working here in 1999. We need to, you know, do better. So that's something that we really need to think about. But anyway, thank you so much for your efforts. For them to just keep getting rid of other people on their money. And they are put the OJ's on right now, but I can't.
Thank you, so much.
All right, so is that everything? Board members, because this is, we need to close this fiscal year out, we need to go ahead and vote on our consent report we just received, so we need a motion. Vote on the consent agenda items, which include financial report, plus construction report, church bid, personnel change report. I think that's how we're, like, and I don't know, like.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
can we pull that and vote on the
Which one?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. President wants us to pull it. And we will take that one out, but let me check. What actions? Do you have, I'm not voting, I'm just trying to make sure you're. He wants to pull. Yeah. Motion needs to be for us to approve the consent agenda without F. That's the vote, that's the motion. You need to restate that? Do we? So, we have a It's been properly moved and seconded, so let's vote without F. You made the motion and Ms. Baker seconded. Ms. Bowles. But she left, okay, so we have 8 members. Unanimous. Consent agenda without. All right, so the next thing that we need to vote on is item F on the consent agenda. Need a motion for the Church Street bid. Ms. Baker.
I move that we accept this Church Street bid.
All right, I need a second. Ms. Hooper. All right, it's been moved and properly second that we approve the superintendent's recommendation for the Church Street bid. All right, trying to get these lights to work here. Okay, so I have 6 members in favor, I have 1 in opposition and 1 abstention. And I say, since I explained that, of course, I'm happy the Church Street to get, we have the renovation, I'm just not happy. It's the work in which we're taking care of these children. Okay, the next item that we have on the agenda, are board matters, is policy series, I was second reading vote. Is there anything that we needed to add to the second read and vote? Anything you need to do with hearing the Ms. Baker?
We accept policy series by this.
All right, we have Ms. Baker, you make a motion to accept as presented. I guess we will do proper statement that we accept policy as written. All right, it's a unanimous vote, 8 members in favor. All right, the next item on the agenda is the Title IX J-POP. Do we have any questions about the Title IX? Yes.
Can I just make one comment to the board? You all may see news coverage of the Title IX regs, and there is a fair amount of litigation by different states, including the state of Georgia, challenging implementation of these policies. So the circuit court where we are has not waited on this issue to the next month. It's possible that they may suspend for a period of time the implementation of these guidelines, and that would affect our school district and all school districts in the state of Georgia. And so I just want to put that on everyone's radar as they see that coming in the meeting coverage.
Yeah. My question is, should we postpone the vote? Is it necessary for us to?
The language is drafted simply states that you're going to comply with all Title IX requirements. And so I think it's fine to update that policy and revisit later, because it's litigation does not result in an injunction. August 1st is the deadline to do this, so you may wish to approve the policy. You have the option of waiting another month, but it's okay.
All right. Mr. Doyle says he thinks it's all right. Do I have a motion? Ms. Baker.
We accept
All right, Mr. Christmas.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Ms. Williams, you have a question? Okay. Let's vote, please. All right, it's a unanimous vote. All right, the next item on the agenda is policy GAMA. Do you want to share anything, Ms. Garrett? I mean, you don't have to, whatever. Just one of them, Ms.
Good evening, Madam Chair. Said, members of the cabinet and the community at large. This policy was added for discussion on, so we have, placed it on, and I'm just here for discussion. It is currently going to come for the next series, which is series comes next month. But in advance of that, we'll start making the changes, we will vote on those changes.
All right, I'm gonna tell you all why I added that, and I see the school. This is the policy regarding addressing to me these random drug testing things that we're doing. If you look at the policy, you will see that pretty much we are randomly drug testing our classified employees. Our classified employees actually, they don't. Maybe this statement is to us, you can correct me, but I don't think they have due process. I see that certificated employees, if they were randomly tested, which I'm not sure they are, then they would be able to go to a hearing, but we don't allow that for our employees. We have a lot of things such as is it called the what's that oil? CBD oil. And I'm a senior citizen, and I don't have any, but I might need to get some after. I had to do a little work last week, and I was really broken down. I had to get some arthritis. If I had some of that oil, I think it might have helped me out. So I know you can buy this stuff, and you know, when you take it, if you get drug tested, it's gonna show up in your, you know, as you know, you had some marijuana. So I think it's bad if, you know, I'm get me because I'm classified. You hanging out with Mr. String, he might use some on his elbow. Tell him because he has a teacher certificate, he can go before, you know, have a hearing. I think if nothing else, these employees, we should either be trying to give them a second chance or whatever. Because some of these people are, you know, they're really good employees. And they're doing a good job. One in particular. Some of the other people, they work for a great employee. It just so happened that day he got randomly. I think they should have the opportunity.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think I kind of understand what you're trying to say, but you want communities to understand that they do not agree with doing drugs.
Right.
So let's make that clear. And they should not be doing drugs, classified or not. But I guess my question is, did we need to add this to the agenda for a vote if you just wanted to discuss the random?
We're not going. I could put it on the agenda at the time. On the agenda, we're not voting because it's coming up.
You really just want random and your thoughts behind it.
It is for discussion.
So for discussion, I am okay with how the policy is written. I just understand my colleagues' point of view. And yes, entitling our kids, we just have to be very careful of possible lawsuits. If it happens, then I understand that there are cases where individuals may have to use some type of substance, but under that have some type of doctor know that something stated that it will help. But
Well, that's, yeah, that's a good thing. If we would like them to bring the doctor's excuse, we don't, they are automatically terminated. And that's what that's the discussion that I'm saying.
It is part of the process. They have drug testing to companies, and letting that company medical examiner does provide an opportunity for individuals who test positive for any drug that is a prescription process. They're allowed to bring that prescription. So if they bring the prescription in their consistent.
Well, if that's the case, then all these people I've been talking to, that's not been the case, and I don't see that in the policy.
Anytime individuals of states blood alcohol content, there is no opportunity for them to provide any description. So, one thing before the legal ones, they have control substances with 3 levels, and then we also have. So the test actually is for both. But if it is a control substance, we have the opportunity to bring in a valid, legitimate description to that. Exactly. If we're not provided to the school system, the only thing we get back is our.
Okay, well, then maybe we need to find out some of these employees, they might be contact that in case this, student seal flag in the paper.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think you just answered it. I just wanted for clarification to make certain that, again, to Madam Chair's point, that we want to make sure that we are providing fairness in any policy that we have in the district. And what I'm hearing that there is a process and procedure. Once they have been tested, and I'm familiar with random testing, that's just what it is, it's random. But if in fact there is some substance found for whatever reason, and it is a prescribed drug or could possibly be in their system from medication, then they have the opportunity to provide that proof. So what I'm hearing you say is the process is working, and we do have reports if in fact it is within the parameters of the drugs that are based on the information that is received from the.
Yes, and I want to say, so yes, the process is working as it was currently structured, so there are 2 companies. And so those 2 companies actually see that. So I do want to make sure that everybody's clear. School system division, HR, everything fine. We don't receive anything from the individual. The only thing we receive are the results from the company. So yes, after this, that was something we put in place to ensure that if there is a prescription drug and in one of those classes, that person does have to provide valid, legitimate prescription to those.
And I just want to ask one question for clarity again, to make sure that the process is working. That if an employee is not present at the time they are selected for random, that is not happening. Do they just, do they go back in and then they are tested again, or how does that work?
Random test resources. So how to start and then how to let market colors come in just to get some. But what occurs in that is back in the office, as long as they're not present or they don't disappear during the time that they stop. But if they are not present, what happens is, so the names drop back in, all kind of things like that, they drop back in the hand. And then that instant, they will potentially come back. This 30 days, yeah, and it is monthly, and it is going to be your individual some of the DOT rates. So it's going to be your school bus drivers and the individuals with business management policy, and also those industry related, and you see your individual school bus.
But they are not penalized if they're on annually. They're not penalized if they are on annually.
Ms. Baker. Ms. Baker.
That the people who are doing the testing tell the difference between THC and CBD oil. Because I tell you, I've heard here today a lot of the past 8 or more distributions for CBD. And I know my husband went to CVS of all places, talking to them about lotion for pain, and they suggested CBD-based product. So I want to make sure that the person who is just, they play too much tennis or whatever, is not gonna get caught up in this.
So CBD oil, it doesn't test for the field, it tests for the presence of THC. So if THC is present in the CBD oil that individual is using, the test comes back and all it does is give us a sheet and it says it's going to be positive. So it's not tested. So if the CBD oil the individual is using and they're asking some conversations around that, and what they're asking those individuals is that you really want to ask the CBD oil you provide does you want to be verified that THC. Because the test is not going to be able to identify whether or not being use of marijuana in THC. This is going to come up as a positive test result. So if it does not identify the presence of THC, it's going to come back in. So the only thing I can probably say for those companies again is that it's a very objective process. They're not identified, they're not able to identify. They really can come and say that that's what it is. If they have a solution, then they can remain. But in terms of whether or not it's oil or it's THC, the test is just going to look, the test is the same for every employee. Yeah. Right. And therein lies that. So when you ask if the individual can tell the difference, I don't know if they'll be able to tell the difference. There is some CBD oil doesn't have that THC present. Once it kick in, it's going to be
Mrs. Strickler.
Please excuse my ignorance. Number one, when we talk about random testing, who exactly are we targeting for the random?
So, your random DOT regulations, you also individuals who hold CDLs, for the students, and also have individuals whose position are physical maintenance, so individuals who are the district management policy. So you'll see my in this way, those are the individuals who position all for them to actually drive.
So my second question would be,
Mr. Stranger, can I add, these are men and women who are operating heavy machinery in general, and so the law does treat them differently than, for example, other classified employees who cannot be operating heavy machinery. And I haven't been involved.
It's not a federal.
It's not a classroom.
so let me stop and let me keep going with my question. So if that's the case, what the law is trying to do is protect individuals that we sue the system. If you injure somebody and then sue.
It's protecting children.
And when we talk about suing the system, I'm sure, reminding me to see my abilities, I'm sure we have an insurance policy that is required in the system.
The tests are required.
The insurance companies want to require them to follow.
This management side, we actually provide, policies, we provide additional information to carriers. That we do follow those procedures, those policies, first ensure that we are able to secure carrier insurance. The other thing is also to ensure that businesses know that maybe some accidents that they don't drive because they are understanding that the district does comply with those.
And you got to send that they drop us. you're gonna need my general fund. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something sure.
Well, it's interesting that we're operating the equipment and all those people. But your policy says no certified employees. No certified employee or employee with a contract for a definite term shall be subject to suspension or termination under this policy, except in compliance with provisions of the Municipal Act, Georgia. So in essence, the maintenance man can be granted and tested and terminated, but if the teacher been smoking a little weed and they operating with our very valuable children that are in the classroom, they test them. And they have, well,
They will have policy.
are we regularly testing and certifying personnel?
Not that I know, because it's not part of the process, but we do have election meetings on a reasonable suspicion. We do post our pre-employment if it's required, for the position. We also do the, post-accident testing for those individuals, so we do different types. And, there have been instances where individuals undergoing process, and we have taken them through their processes. So the certified employees by state law have a different process.
I know. And that's what I'm saying, to me, which is unfair. Because it's not right for you to pull up and sit down in school and, do a little something and go on in the classroom and teach the kids and nobody says anything about it. But if you certify, and you have to get randomly tested, then you're terminated. And we have an employee program when people have substance abuse and all that type of stuff that we allow people to do. Are you saying we don't go to parent? Do we do this for our?
In pursuit of the policy, the individual does to the school system.
Okay, but if I've already gotten randomly tested and I'm positive to do that, I can't go and have a second chance because I'm not promoting, as the super said, I'm not trying to, we want to be drug free. We want to be, but I also feel like we need to be fair about the way we do this. So that's the reason that I brought it up. And, the board, I think it's next month, but the board needs to understand that it shouldn't be, separate but equal process here. It's like, to me, it's almost as bad as Jim Crow. One group is all right, you can get around it, you can have a computer, and you can keep your job. But that's it. You just have but it's my purpose, bring it up for discussion, and of course, but I also want people in the classroom, and I've seen enough people on social media that work for us that I think we made that's what they do when they came to work, but we haven't done anything about them at all. So that was my purpose. Miss Hill. Favorites here. And somebody can defend what happened. Miss Hill.
In your point, in fairness of the law, if I understand correctly, that this is in compliance with the federal law for individuals who operate. So the policy aligns with the federal guidelines for our employees. Am I correct?
Based on the issues.
Thank you.
Mr. Chris.
Madam Chair, I appreciate all the comments and everything that was said, but we're not moving on this stuff, right?
No, we're not. It was just. Information.
Okay. This is the-
Yeah. That you can't smoke marijuana and be drunk with children. We'll move right on to the next policy. This is not for GAMA, that's for next month, next time we do policy. DJEAA. It, this is in regards to purchasing. Some of us had a discussion about, because whenever we've already done the D policy, we can bring it back. You, and the purpose of DJEAA was in regards to purchasing. Right now, the board policy is that anything that's above $50,000 needs to be, it needs board approval. We're trying to purchase something. In order for us to purchase what we need to purchase, we probably need to do a bid, otherwise we have to manipulate it around. So we were having a discussion, one discussion was a motion to, which we can't vote on this because we already had DJEAA. So we were talking about trying to help the school district because it raising the threshold of the board approval for purchasing. We had two suggestions. One was to raise it to 100,000 with board approval. All right, Mr. Striker.
So, Madam Chair.
Mr. President, did you have? All right, Mr. Striker has moved. Yes, you can have. Well, I'm gonna go with this motion.
One is for,
One.
only one is. Yeah.
Okay. We have a motion for 100,000. So if you would please vote. All right, we have 5 members in favor of raising it to 100,000. We have 3 members in opposition. The motion passed.
Thank you, board members.
The next item on the agenda is policy DJEAB and DJEABR1. Mr. Stricker.
Madam Chair, this is the board member, Mark Christensen and Jack involved. Regards going back to the lab, and looking at this policy and possibly revising it to see if we can get that minority. We would like to work that out, reach out to Ms. Gavin and the rest of the staff to see if we can come up with a better policy in regards.
All right, so basically the issue, you want to give them a history on that?
But Ms. Gavin, you don't need to get up, you can just shake your head. I think basically we visited this policy. We came up with the fact that we were going to make it for local individuals, and they would receive some sort of benefit or points because they're local. We also wanted minorities to get extra points, but I think we were advised that there was going to be a certain process that we go through in order to solidify that by law. Am I correct? Small. So what we want to do now is go back to the lab and see how possible it is for us to make revisions and start moving towards minority businesses and minority women and veteran businesses getting those additional points, because what we feel is that, I think Mr. Joseph talks, we're realizing that the competition is just not there when it comes to this. Time after time after time, there is no competition. We want to look at a way in order, a way to enhance that competition. So we might go back to work to see if we can come up with.
Because the other thing is when he mentioned competition, minority farmers, because we're not giving any points for minority farmers. When big process. So certain companies, they already go to the table with money and, the ability to bid. We keep talking about, like, for example, we have this workforce initiative. Here, we're training kids every summer, but we can't even get those kids to the company that can build and help with one of our facilities, because they're in the point state. And I know this, here, I remember we had consultants that came, so I think it seems like we didn't finish the process.
Well, we need to go ahead and do this. And like the pay conference, we thought that the board authority was going to do one, and we could utilize that as a community, but it seems like that didn't happen. And there's been conversation about this community doing that study. It'd be my recommendation that in the very near future, we go ahead and conduct this. Right. But at the end of the day,
Right, that's what I'm saying, we didn't complete what it was, so yeah, so that's what we need to do. So, necessarily voting, I mean, are we in agreement, I mean, as far as the board?
and I'll get other information pertaining to the study cost, et cetera.
This is my when Mr. Christmas, Ms. Bowles, and myself began to work on this, it's not like we're making the decision. We want to work on the group and then bring it to the rest of our board for further discussion. So you guys will not be left out of the loop in the decision to go.
Right, we weren't left out anyway, you out there did the job. Like we did, we just needed to complete whatever we needed to do to make it help competitive.
One last thing, Ms. Garrett and the purchasing. Ms. Garrett and Ms. Board told, I think we're following the process. They said we will start with local and small businesses first in order to collect data. Once we collect that data, we then would inquire on the stuff. So I think this is right on line with what you stood up here and told us we were going to do at the first step. And now we're moving on to the third step. So we're there now. Now we feel like we have enough data to say that it's not competitive and that we should go on with the study in order to implement what the federal laws say we have to do in order to include minority and women and veteran businesses and giving them some. So I think we're right now. This is what we said we were going to be doing last year. And now.
All right, so the next item was policy FPC, and then we weren't doing anything with this, we're not voting, I put it on here. It's the policy, first reason it was on here is because when Ms. Baker, and so, Ms. Baker, tell them what.
For the last, I would say, almost 2 years now, I've talked to board members and others. I have had a request from Jonesboro High School staff, students, families, to name the, excuse me, this is so hard for me. To name the boardroom an alumni, Henry Blackson, excuse me, I know his sister, he was one of our officers who was killed in an incident. He was SWAT. He so much wanted, he went to college in Savannah in criminal law. And his goal was to come back to this county and get back to this county. And he wanted to be a SWAT officer. And before the age of 30, he did that. And I just think it would mean so much to our high school and his family that he has that honor. And like I said, I talked to Sarah. I talked to family members. I talked to his friends. I have a son who went to school with him, who knows these people. It would be such an honor, and I don't think we can wait any longer. And there's no reason.
Yes, Ms. Baker called me, Dr. Beasley and I actually attended his funeral several years ago. And we discussed naming the courtroom at Jonesboro after him. But it's kind of discussed, we discussed it before, we just had to done it, so basically bring it here for discussion. I think it was a couple of days ago, his father is now actually passed. And I think it's a shame that, his father didn't get to see the honor of standing in the courtroom. So basically that was the purpose of the agenda. Mr. Striker.
One, why did it take so long for this name to come up in the first place? And then secondly, we had a discussion in regards to this policy. And this was a policy that I don't know when this policy came up, but we realized that having a policy on this agenda, just a naming facility, skips something that we need to take in order to name the court for this individual. I propose that we do two things here. One, that we definitely without put this on the agenda for the next meeting and vote on it at that point, following all the procedures that we need to follow. And secondly, that we take a look at the policy and make the appropriate changes. That changes or leave it the same after our discussions.
Well, the reason that it's on the agenda is so we can have a discussion. To read, since that's what we were trying to do. Ms. Baker, we already discussed. She made a request, and as you know, board members can make requests for things to be on the agenda, which is why it was placed. I put it there so that you could read the policy and you would know what we were discussing. We've already done the F policy. So it's basically there just to put it out there. That's what we plan to do. So if anybody has any, on the website, if someone wants to bring anything, give us any input. As I said before, I put vote there in the event. That was just, sometimes we get involved in things, sometimes we don't just or in case. So we're gonna have that. I'm gonna take your recommendation and that will be on the next agenda. Yes.
So basically, this is the first step. Meaning that you put it here so that public input can come in and then we can vote on it the next meeting.
Right. We actually need a written report for his name for that. So that was the purpose. All right. Oh, I see it. Anyway, it says next item is the agenda. Jump ahead, we've already voted. We voted on everything. We covered everything, and we're in adjournment.